guys, welcome to another episode of A Drama's Guide to... So, this week I'm talking about something that is prevalent with me when it comes to New Year's. I know that we're a little way into 2020 right now, or whenever you're watching this it may be 2023, who knows. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about something I feel a lot when it comes to New Year's, or when I get new goals in my head or whatever it is, and that is the feeling of being overwhelmed. I wish it wasn't something I felt that often, but I really do a fair bit. I know when I'm in a good spot when I'm not feeling like this, and I have to say it's not very often. I've felt like this very, very recently, and it was just like, it just debilitates me. It totally takes everything out of me. I don't know where to turn. I feel like I'm in like a box and I don't really know how to get out of it. But it's not just like a cardboard box that you can just elbow out. It's more like, I don't know, there's bricks around me and I don't know which way to move. I don't even know where to start. So this is how I generally deal with overwhelm. As I say, I think I'm still refining how I deal with it, because it still happens fairly often. I say fairly often. Maybe, I think the last time it happened was like a week ago, but before that would have been, I don't know, 8 months ago? Something like that, or 9 or 10 months ago. But for me, generally it means that I've set myself too many tasks, too many goals, too many things to focus on, and yeah, it's just too much. So here's how I deal with it. And it's going to sound very obvious, but I think if you can find ways of doing this, then it will really help you. So the first thing I think about is what is most important to me. And that can be a physical like project that I'm working on, or it can be just a general aspect of my life. So for instance, I've spoken about this before, like taking time to relax and look after myself and self-care. Not very good at that. Very important though, so that is very high up on my list, because I know personally I'm not very good at it. I need to focus on it, so therefore I need to make that a priority. I'm very good at working very hard and like just too much and overwhelming myself. Funny that. So I take a look at what's really, really important to me. I look at the why behind every one of those things that I'm focusing on. Because for me, when things get too much, if I can remember why I'm doing something, then it will instantly just make me go, okay, I know what I need to do, I know where I need to be. So that's good. The next thing I'll do is I will literally eliminate things that are not that important. I will go from, say it's like a list of 5 things, I'll go to number 5. Number 1 will be the most important, so like self-care. Incredibly important. Cool, great. And I'll go down and number 5, and maybe even number 4, I'm just like, I'm sorry, I've got to strike you. Maybe not indefinitely, but just for now, I need to get you out of my head, off my radar, so I know which way to turn. So I have like a master to-do list, or like, yeah, goal list, I suppose. I will just put that on there in the background, and I'll just think to myself, I will come back to that when I have the brain space. Because the other thing is, if you're coming at situations, goals, or whatever it is, feeling overwhelmed, feeling exhausted before you've even started them, you're not going to do a very good job. And I know this from personal experience. Trust me, the amount of times that I've basically said yes to everything, which I think is a good thing when you're trying to do certain things, but when it becomes a choice of like, either I can do this well, or I can try and do everything okay-ish, you end up actually just hurting yourself, hurting your reputation, hurting your ability, hurting your confidence. It's just, you know, there's a balancing, there's a tipping point, basically. There's a tipping point, and if you're too far in the overwhelm stage, nothing good can come of it. So just strip it back. Like I have so many ideas and projects that I want to do and I want to pursue, but I have literally gone, right, just write it down, put it on that list, come back to it another time when you have the headspace, because right now, not happening. Like I said, about a week ago, and I was like, I just don't know where I'm at. There's so many things that I'm juggling, and I don't, my head is just a big ball of floof. So I've taken a few things out of my own schedule and goals and all of that. I've created a schedule, so I know, okay, right now I need to focus on this. Then at that point I need to focus on that. And that way there's allocated time, so it's not like too crazy. So yeah, I'd say that's so first thing to do is eliminate whatever you can and just go, right, no, not you. But then after that, go, right, the things that I do need to do, where can I allocate some time to do that? I would allocate more time than you feel you need to do it, so you can alleviate some of that stress if you can, if that's possible, whilst also, earning a living if you can and doing all that stuff. Let's just put that out there as well. And then the next thing that I'll do is something, it might sound a little bit strange, but it works for me. I clear up my space, and I'm not talking about in here. Well, I am talking about in here, but I mean my physical space. So my studio. I will make sure that everywhere has a home. I will reorganize. It's like the outside, although I like a bit of chaos, and I certainly like a lot of mess. Not a lot. To me, it's a bit of mess, but ask my husband, he seems to think that it's a lot of mess. I like that. There's something creative about that. There's something, I don't know, I like it. Probably because I just don't like clearing up. But when I do have a big clear up, it really refreshes my head, and it makes me just go, right, I know where everything is. Everything has its place. Let's look at this with a clear head. So I'd say, like, clearing up your workspace or where you spend a lot of time, maybe it's your bedroom or just your house generally, or wherever it needs to be, just to feel like I have physical space to breathe and to look at what is important, what I need to be doing, what isn't important, what I can get rid of, and kind of go from there. Then the next thing that I'll do is I will simplify. Say I've got like 3 main goals, which for me I think is true at the moment in January. 3 main goals. I may as well tell you, well, they're not goals, like 3 buckets if you like. So this series is Drummer's Guide 2, so making these videos for you guys amongst a couple of other little projects I'm working on within that, but again, I'm trying to not overwhelm myself. EmilyDrums.com, my remote recording studio, so that's my second one, again releasing free drum stems every week, and also working with the clients that I have on my books at the moment. And then the third thing is, for me, my looking after myself, self-care, things like taking time to have a bath, taking time to cook nice food. I say that because my stomach was just grumbling. And also relaxing time to, be with my family, or do a jigsaw puzzle. I just started another jigsaw puzzle. I'm very happy. I'd forgotten how relaxing that is, or like listening to podcasts and just taking time for myself. So that's the third one that I struggle with generally, but I'm trying to be better. So I simplify them down to those 3 things, and then in each one of those buckets, if you like, goals, whatever you want to call them, I will whittle it down to like the smallest little things that I can do every day that will add up to the bigger picture. So what is it they call marginal gains? If you've heard of that, it's basically the thought of, in fact, that's not what marginal gains is, but a similar concept is this Japanese word kaizen, which means if you do like the tiniest little thing every day towards something, it compounds and you end up reaching your goals, which I'm a big believer in. I've lived it, I've done it, it works. It's hard work, but it works, and if you can commit to that, then it's brilliant. Even if you do 5 minutes, say 5 minutes, practicing on a drum pad every day, that will compound and you will end up getting better exponentially. So anyway, I digress. So if you can, just bring it down to the smallest little thing that you can do every day or every week or whatever it needs to be. Just take some time, allocate that time, and hopefully that overwhelm will disappear. And sometimes it does, even when you do break it down, it still seems overwhelming when you look at that big goal, but just try and focus on that tiny, tiny little thing that you can do. And again, if it's too much, eliminate some things within that goal. Maybe rather than, doing an hour a day of 3 different things that you want to practice, just do 20 minutes a day of one thing, and maybe you change it up every day, or maybe you don't. Maybe you just, for 1 month, you work on paradiddles for 20 minutes a day. That's it. That's all you do. That's all you commit to. And then maybe you look at it in a month's time and you go, cool, all right, now I'm going to work on kick drum technique, double kick drum technique. That's something I'm terrible at, by the way. Oh my gosh. I used to be alright, maybe, but not good, certainly not good, but I got away with it. Yeah, so if you want to work on that, so for the next month, all right, now for my 20 minutes a day that I'm now used to doing, I'm going to do double kick drum stuff. So anyway, I hope that this has helped you in some way with not feeling overwhelmed. Like I say, I'm kind of talking to myself here. I ended up just eliminating a bunch of stuff that I really want to do, but I guess now is just not the right time. I have a very full-on year ahead of me with a lot of touring with Kim Wilde. I've got The Voice Kids, these videos, and a studio to run. So already just saying that out loud, I feel quite full, as it were. But it's for me now, because those are the 4 things that I definitely want to be doing, along with self-care. Oh God, that's 5 things. The Kim Wilde stuff and the Voice Kids, I can compartmentalize into time frames. So that's what I'm focusing on. So when I am focused on it, I'm literally focusing on just that. I'm not even thinking about Kim Wilde yet. We don't start rehearsals till April, so I'm not even going to think about that. That's fine. The Voice Kids, I've got some stuff in a couple of weeks, and I'll look at that closer to the time. But yeah, I think that's it. It's just allocating time and brain space for your overwhelm, your simplified overwhelm. And yeah, I hope it works for you. If you've got your own way of dealing with overwhelm, please leave your suggestions in the comments. I'd love to hear how you deal with it. If you deal with it, maybe you don't. For years, I just struggled with it, and it just completely, like I say, debilitated me. But this seems to work for me, so I hope it does for you too. If you've got any questions or anything you'd like me to talk about, ramble on about, as I do so enjoy to do, then please feel free to leave them in the comments below. But I will be seeing you next week for another subject. I hope you're having a lovely week wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and I will see you soon. All right, lots of love, you guys. Bye bye.